It's not often we see a player put on a classic individual performance that ends up being a heartbreaking loss. Unfortunately for Portland Trail Blazers superstar Damian Lillard, he was the main actor of such a performance. In one of the most electrifying postseason performances ever, Damian Lillard had 55 points in an NBA playoff record of 12 three-pointers in the Portland Trail Blazers double overtime loss at the Denver Nuggets Game 5 of Western Conference first round in 2021. Lillard played 52 minutes and shot 17 of 24 from the field, including 12 of 17 from the three-point range. But it wasn't enough, as the Nuggets held him off in the second overtime to post a 147-140 victory and take a 3-2 series lead. Lillard broke the record of 11 threes set by the Golden State Warriors' Klay Thompson in 2016 in Game 6 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. "It was the best playoff performance I've ever seen," Blazers coach Terry Stotts said. "He gave it his all." Nuggets coach Mike Malone was also aware that he had witnessed a historic performance. "Damian Lillard was a superhuman tonight." It's hard to put into words just what Damian Lillard did against the Nuggets. Watching him enter that zone very few have been was very special and recognized by all the players around the league. Dame time was virtually unstoppable down to the stretch, as he made big three after big three that helped the Blazers force the 2 extra periods. Many would lose their breath after 40+ minutes on the court, but Lillard was set at full speed for the whole 52 minutes. Lillard made the game-tying triple in regulation over Michael Porter Jr. In overtime, he led a late-game Blazers comeback after they went down by 9 with just over 2 minutes remaining. The Nuggets were absolutely helpless as they watched Lillard splash in three-pointers in the final minute of the first overtime to force the second one. Unfortunately, his heroics were just not enough to give Portland the win in a double overtime, and the Blazers fell to a 3-2 series deficit. Eventually, the Nuggets went on to win the next one and wrap up the series. Lillard became the first player in the NBA playoff history to score for 55 points with double-digit assists. Lillard, by contrast, brushed aside his performance when he was asked to reflect on it. "It don't matter. We lost the game," Lillard said. "At this point, all that matters is we can't lose another game in the series. We go out there and we play to win the game, and we came up short." The record-breaking three came with 3 minutes, 47 seconds left in double overtime, as Lillard bombarded the Nuggets with a series of deep step-back jumpers to keep the Blazers in the game. He hit one to tie the score with 3.7 seconds remaining in regulation, which came after review overturned a foul on a three that would have given Lillard 3 free throws. He hit another in the first overtime with 6.6 seconds left over the 6'10" Michael Porter Jr. to tie the score again and force the second extra frame. That one completed a 9-point comeback in the final 2 minutes, all led by Lillard. "The degree of difficulty at which he hit some of those shots is godlike," his teammate at the time, CJ McCollum, said. "To be able to create space and shoot from so far out contested time after time. It's a shame we wasted one of an all-time performances by not being more supportive for him." The Blazers' others 4 starters all scored in double figures, but down the stretch, Lillard carried the load. He scored or assisted on 37 of the Blazers' final 42 points. And for the game, he scored or assisted on 80 points, tied for the most ever in NBA playoff history. Lillard's 55 points are the 3rd most ever in a playoff loss. There was a moment in the second overtime, with about 3 minutes to go, when Lillard curled off a high screen moving to his left and pulled for a decently open three. It clipped off the front of the rim, bouncing off the backboard and into the hands of Porter, but off to the side, Lillard's defender Austin Rivers put his hands together, looked to the sky and said, "Thank God." Praying seemed to be about the only acceptable defense there was for Lillard that night. Lillard has 3 career game-tying or go-ahead threes inside of the final 5 seconds of the 4th quarter or overtime, tying Reggie Miller for the most over the past 25 seasons. Lillard is also the first player in the past 25 seasons with multiple game-tying threes in the last 10 seconds of the 4th quarter or overtime of a playoff game. He has 2 career playoff games with at least 10 threes. The rest of the NBA has 1. It was quite the bounce-back outing for Lillard, who just scored 10 points on a 1 of 10 shooting in the previous game, but the Blazers blew Denver out behind a strong defensive performance and balanced scoring. In that game, Portland couldn't find answers for Nikola Jokic, who finished with 38 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists, and a stronger bench performance led by Monte Morris, who had 28 points. The back and forth between Lillard and Jokic featured a Lillard scoring or assisting on 22 of Portland's 26 points in clutch time, with Jokic scoring or assisting on 22 of Denver's 31.